You found out the way people always find out the things they never meant to find out. Not from the person themselves, from someone else. And the moment you heard those words, your body did something before your mind could catch up. Your hands went still, not placed. Still. The kind of still that is not peaceful. The kind that happens when a person suddenly does not know what their hands are supposed to do next. Someone told your person. Someone took the one piece of you that you had kept in a locked room. The wound that had no public name, the pain that had lived for years, in a place you never let anyone visit, and placed it in front of the one you could not afford to lose. Chosen one, I want to speak to the weight of what you have been carrying, not the wound itself, but the carrying, because there is a specific kind of exhaustion that belongs only to people who have been holding something no one else knows about. You have learned to move through rooms, through conversations, through entire seasons of your life, while keeping one part of you absolutely still. You have answered questions without answering them. You have laughed in the right places. You have been present, while something in you was very carefully, very quietly, absent. And you have done this not because you are dishonest. You have done this because somewhere along the way, you learned that certain rooms in you were safer locked than open. The weight of that, the vigilance of keeping that door closed, while living a life that required you to keep your hands free, that weight is real, and I want you to know I see it. But before we go further, I want to plant something here, something small. Do you remember a moment, sometime in the recent past, when your person went quiet in a way that was slightly different from how they usually go quiet? A pause that lasted a half second too long, a glance that moved across your face, as if looking for something they did not want to name. Maybe a question started and then did not finish. You told yourself it was nothing, but I want you to hold that small moment. We are going to come back to it, and when we do, it will mean something completely different. And now, the thing has happened. The door was opened, not by you. This is not the same as choosing to be vulnerable. Chosen vulnerability is terrifying enough, but at least it belongs to you. This is different. This is the shade being removed by someone else's hand. The person whose reaction matters most in this world now knows the thing you worked the hardest to keep them from knowing. The question you are sitting with right now is not a small question. It is the question, will they stay? Will the wound that was hidden become the thing that ends this? Will being fully known cost you the one thing you were most afraid to lose? Chosen one, I want to ask you to sit with that question for a moment, not to rush past it, not to brace yourself with faith, before we have named what we are actually dealing with, because the question is real, the fear is real, and every spiritual insight I want to offer you today is only worth something if it is built on the foundation of taking your reality seriously first. Someone told your person the truth about your hidden pain. You did not choose this, and the reaction you received was not the one the fear predicted. I want to walk you through something that I believe will change, not just how you see this moment, but how you see yourself. Let me ask you something. When did you first learn that certain things were safer hidden? Because it did not start as a decision. It started as an observation. You saw what happened when the wrong person was given the wrong piece of someone and how quickly they used it. And your mind, which is extraordinarily gifted at protecting you, filed a policy. Some rooms stay locked. Some wounds have no audience. Some truths are protected only by the silence that surrounds them. And that policy served you well enough, for long enough, that you stopped questioning it. You were not hiding out of deception. You were hiding out of a wisdom that had been earned at a cost you did not deserve to pay. And here is what a life looks like when something inside is being carefully protected. Every interaction has a slight edge of awareness, a part of you that is never quite fully present, because it is standing guard. You give people the warmth, the laughter, the version of you close enough to real, to feel like honesty. But there is a room you do not take people into, and around that room, you have built comfortable furniture, pleasant conversation, easy smiles, the fluent performance of wholeness, so that no one stands near the door long enough to notice it is there. Do you know how much energy that takes? You have been doing this so long, it has become invisible to you, but it is not invisible to me. And as we are about to discover, it was not invisible to God. There was a man who understood this, the way few writers in the last 100 years have understood it. His name was C.S. Lewis, Oxford scholar, Christian apologist, a man who knew what it was to love from behind glass, to be present in a room, while keeping the most important part of himself very precisely managed. And in his profound meditation on love, a book called The Four Loves, Lewis wrote these words: "To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken." Lewis is not offering comfort. He is naming a law, a gravitational principle of the human heart. If you love, truly love, not the managed kind, you will be vulnerable. Not because you planned it, because love itself removes the armor. And here is what this means for you today, chosen one. The fact that you are sitting in the terror of this exposure is evidence, undeniable evidence, that you love this person for real. The wound is not the problem. The vulnerability is not the weakness. They are the price of a love that refuses to be smaller than what it actually is. And now I want to name something you have not had language for: the exhaustion. Not the emotional exhaustion of being in pain. That is one kind of tired. I mean the very specific exhaustion of long-term concealment. The way you have to be slightly alert, even in the most casual conversations. The way certain topics require a subtle internal redirect. So practiced by now, it looks like nothing from the outside. The way you have sometimes held your breath in a room full of people you love, because a word got too close to the door. From the outside, chosen one, you probably look fine. You have always looked fine. You have been running a second system, a private, parallel system of management, while showing up fully to every relationship and responsibility in your life. That has cost you more than you have ever been given credit for. I see it, and more importantly, God sees it. In Psalm 139, that ancient song of David, the poet says, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You discern my thoughts from afar." God searches. God already knows. Chosen, one, that locked room. God has been sitting in it with you this entire time. Before you had a name for the wound, before you decided the door needed a lock, He was already there, already holding what you could not let anyone else hold. You were never alone in that room, which means that what happened the moment someone told your person the truth was not the introduction of your hidden pain to love. It was love recognizing itself from one place to another, and that is a very different thing. So let me take you there, to the moment it happened. Someone found the words, and they said something true about you, something about what you have been carrying, the wound that had no public name. And just like that, without your permission, without your preparation, the door was open. Your person knew. Take a moment and feel what that sentence costs. And then you found out that they knew. Were you sitting in a car that had not moved yet? Standing in your kitchen holding something you forgot to put down? Because your body knew before your mind caught up. Your hands paused. Your breathing changed shallower, more deliberate. Something in your chest did that thing. Not pain exactly, more like the feeling of ground, being suddenly less certain beneath your feet. To learn that the hidden thing has been seen, and to not yet know what the other person did with it. That gap, that not yet knowing, that suspended space between exposure and reaction. I want to talk about the hours or days between when you found out and the moment you knew their reaction. Your mind would have run every scenario. The distancing version, where something has quietly shifted. The pity version, where they are kind, careful, but the warmth has a different texture now. The version where they say all the right things, but something behind their eyes has moved to a new position that cannot move back. You rehearsed each one, because you are extraordinarily good at preparing for the impact. You have always been, but chosen one, there was something you could not have rehearsed for. But first, I want to return to the small moment. That pause, that glance that lasted a half second too long. The question they started and did not finish. What if it was not unfamiliarity? What if the slight pause in their silence was not your person encountering something new, but recognizing something they had already sensed, without having a name for it? Love reads between the lines. Real love, close love. The kind that has sat across from you in enough ordinary moments to learn the texture of who you actually are, that love notices. It notices the moments you redirect. It notices the subject you move away from. And sometimes it says nothing, not because it is indifferent, but because it is patient, waiting for the moment when you are ready, or, as it turns out, for the moment when the door is opened another way. Which brings us to this, the moment just before the reaction, not when the wound is inflicted, not even when the wound is named, but the moment just before you discover whether being fully known will cost you the one thing you were most afraid to lose. Chosen one, before we go another step, if this is speaking to something real in your life right now, if you recognize the room I am describing, I want you to type something in the comments. Just 2 words. I stayed. Because you did. You stayed through the hardest season of not being known. And what you are about to discover is that your staying was not just survival. It was preparation. And then it happened. The moment arrived, and you were there for it. And the reaction that came was not the one you had prepared for, not the soft withdrawal, not the pity, not the fixing. The reaction was something else. The reaction, the actual one, the one that came from the real person, who was suddenly holding something about you they had not been given, was not what the fear had written. Something else happened. Something that made you breathe differently. When you finally understood what it meant, let me tell you what that reaction communicated, in the language that lives underneath words. When a person learns something real about someone they love, something heavy, hidden, something that carries weight and cost, and their first response is not to step back. That response is not nothing. It is a declaration. It is the heart saying, I am not with you because of the version you present. I am with you because of you, the full you, the carrying around you, the locked room you, and that the reaction came from a place of staying rather than a place of managing. That is something God builds slowly in the person He is preparing to walk alongside a life like yours. In the ancient Song of Solomon, there is a line, His banner over me is love. A banner was not decoration. A banner was a declaration, what a king raised over the territory he was claiming. Chosen one, when your person received the truth about your hidden pain and did not withdraw, they raised a banner, not with ceremony, but in the most real and irreversible way possible. They placed a declaration of love directly over the wound you were most afraid to show, not in spite of the hidden pain, because of it. Because the wound was not the disqualification the fear announced. It was the exact place where love wanted to stand. Do you remember what Lewis said? To love at all is to be vulnerable. There is another way to read that sentence, a way that only becomes visible after you have watched the unexpected reaction arrive. Vulnerability is not just the cost. Vulnerability is the door. The thing you kept locked, the wound that seemed too much to show, was not blocking love. It was the mechanism that, when opened, allowed a quality of love in that the managed, surface-level version could never have reached. The locked room was not the obstacle. The locked room was the place where the deepest love was waiting to enter. And when someone told your person the truth, love walked through it. Not because you let it, because love does not always wait for an invitation. C.S. Lewis wrote a novel near the end of his life that he considered his most personal and most honest work. He had been trying to write it for 30 years. It is called Till We Have Faces. It is the story of a woman who spent her entire life demanding answers from a God who was silent, who wrestled and raged, because silence felt like abandonment, and at the climax of her life, she makes a discovery she could not have anticipated. Lewis writes, I know now, Lord, why you utter no answer. You are yourself the answer. Before your face, questions die away. Not an explanation, the presence. Chosen one. This is what happened in the moment. Your person heard the truth and chose not to leave. They did not answer your wound with a solution. They answered it with themselves. They showed up. They stayed. They placed their presence inside the question. And that, whether they understood it or not, was a reflection of the way God Himself loves. He does not always explain. He arrives. The thing you were most afraid of, the rejection, the withdrawal, did not happen. I know the mind that built those scenarios so carefully may still be running them on a background track. But the fear was real. The fear was rational. And the outcome this time was different. Not because you managed it. Because something in the person God is bringing into your life is different from what the wound taught you to expect. And that difference, quiet as it was, is everything. Chosen one. I want to come back to the small moment now. That pause. That glance. The question they started and did not finish. They already knew. Not in the explicit, full picture sense, but in the way that love reads a person, long before it has the vocabulary to say what it sees. They had already sensed the shape of the locked room. In the moments you went slightly quiet, in the careful way you moved around certain subjects, in the thing that passed across your face, in unguarded seconds, they saw it, and they said nothing. Not because they were indifferent, because they were patient, giving you the room you needed to come to your own door in your own time. And when someone else opened it, they did not react with shock. They reacted with recognition. And recognition, chosen one, is the most intimate response there is. It means, I already knew you were in there. I was just waiting for you to let me say so. C.S. Lewis, in The Problem of Pain, wrote, "We are, not metaphorically but in very truth, a divine work of art, something that God is making, something that God is making, present tense, not finished, still being formed." Chosen one. The hidden pain was not a flaw in the canvas. The hidden pain was a chamber in the work that God has not yet finished building in. An artist does not abandon unfinished work. An artist protects it, works in it quietly, returns to it with the kind of attention that does not announce itself until the piece is ready to be seen. The person God is sending into your life did not look at the unfinished places and walk away. They looked at the unfinished places and recognized the marks of the artist. God does not waste a chamber. He works in it. Here is what that moment was. That pause, that glance, that question that started and stopped. That was not your person missing something. That was your person already beginning to love what they could only sense but not yet see. Being known does not come after love. Being known is part of how love arrives. God does not love us first and then get around to knowing us. He knows us completely, without remainder, and loves us from that complete knowing. And the person He is preparing for your life is being shaped in that same image. Isaiah says it like this: "I have called you by name, you are mine. Not the version of you I could see, not the parts of you that were easy. You are mine, all of you. The locked room and the furniture around it, the wound and every wall built to protect it, all of it mine." When your person learned the truth and chose to stay, they said your name over your pain, not the name you present, the name that belongs to the full person. And Isaiah's words carry a different sound now. "I have called you by name, you are mine." Because when a human being learns the full truth of who we are and does not withdraw, they are echoing the voice of God, saying what God has been saying all along. You are known, you are seen, and you are still mine. Chosen one. The hiding made sense. The locking of the door made sense, given everything that taught you to lock it. You were not wrong to protect yourself. But here is the miracle of what has happened. The choosing did not wait for the full disclosure. The love did not require the perfect presentation. Even in your hidden season, even while the door was still closed, you were already seen, already loved, already chosen. Not because you performed your way into it, because God does not love the curated version. He loves the actual one. and he has been preparing someone who is learning to do the same. Chosen one, I want to go back to where we started. That room, the one you kept so carefully locked. Picture it now, but differently. The door is open, and I want you to notice what changes about a room when the door is open. The light is different, not harsh, just present. The corner that seemed most impossible to look at looks different when light can reach it. Not because the corner has changed, because you can see now that something was being worked in, not hidden out of shame, but held while the work continued. You do not have to rebuild the lock. That is all. Just leave the door as it is. Let the light stay. 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. Perfect love drives out fear, not suppresses it, not manages it, drives it out. The fear that lived in the locked room, the fear that being fully known would mean being fully lost, has been answered, not by a decision to be braver, by love arriving inside the fear. What happened? The staying, the recognition, the name said over the wound, was perfect love doing what perfect love does. It did not wait outside the fear, it entered the fear. It stood in the middle of the thing you were most afraid of, and did not retreat. The fear is not gone, but love is larger, and love that is larger than fear is the only foundation worth building a life on. C.S. Lewis, near the end of his life, wrote, "There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind." Chosen one, hear that today, not as a consolation for what was difficult, but as a declaration about what is coming. The season of the locked room is behind you now, not because the wound is gone, but because the door is open and love has entered, and the light in the room is different now. What lies ahead is not the managed version of you, not the vigilant, second system version that kept the hidden thing hidden. What lies ahead is the actual you, known, still chosen, still wanted, walking forward with an open door into something the hidden season was preparing you for, in the only way it could. So here is what I want to leave you with. You do not have to do anything dramatic. You do not have to announce anything. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to become the wound. You simply do not have to rebuild the lock. Just leave the door as it is, because what you found in the unexpected reaction, in the recognition, in the staying, in the name that was said over your pain, is that you were never the sum of your hidden things. You were always the full person. The one with the open room, the one with the changed light, the one who was known, fully known, and is still here, still chosen, still loved, still his. Subscribe to this channel, Chosen One, because what God has begun in this season, He does not leave unfinished. The door is open, the light is in, and what is ahead of you is more than you have allowed yourself to imagine. You are known, and you are still His.